I'm Hanan.
I'm Lina.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Obnoxiously Pleasant Podcast. Today, we are talking about.
Tinder Swindler.
Oh my God.
I
So,
know, right?
I know, I finally watched it last night. Lena's been telling me, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. And then it's kind of like a fun thing for us to do together where we can watch a show and have a discussion like we did, a few weeks
Yeah,
back when we
but
did it just like that.
yeah, when you texted me, you're like, oh my God, like when you finally watched it. Okay, please, because I told you don't tell me what your reactions are, because I want it to be just like on the show, just because we haven't talked about what you thought of it. So go ahead and tell me what you thought of
Okay,
it.
so I'm going to bring up my notes because I took a whole bunch of notes.
Oh damn, she's got notes too.
I did look like a whole bunch of notes.
Yeah,
I
I
did
know,
a
right?
so the one thing that I like after watching like the I guess the movie in full, like after watching the whole like documentary in full, I
Yeah,
came to like a conclusion. The one thing that all these women have in common is not that they're gold diggers or not that they're stupid. It's that they like really were just trying to help somebody that they cared about, right? I
yeah.
saw the commentary online and like I really hate when somebody blames the victim, you know? I
Yeah,
don't
there
think
was there
it's
was there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that, and like a lot of men were saying, well, not just men, but there's women too. Like I don't want to just say it's men, but a lot of people were saying, how stupid can they be?
I
How
know,
gullible
I
can they
know.
be? But then if you see, like a lot of people don't understand, like especially the ones that didn't watch it. This guy did it over time.
He
It
did. He
wasn't.
did.
It wasn't
Like when you I loved how they brought the like they
the text
presented
messages.
well no that's like the course of the three women that they
Yeah.
interviewed in the movie. So first you had Cecilia, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
Cecilia Cecile.
Yeah.
She
Cecilia. Her name is
Cecilia,
Cecilia.
yeah. So she is like she was sort of like the quintessential like woman searching for love. She talked about like Disney and that
Mm-hmm.
whole concept of like what love looked like in Disney and what that meant to her. And I thought it was really sweet. Like she really had a desire to love and be loved and have like that great love in her life, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so was she stupid? No, I don't think she was stupid. So like what I wrote down was like, she's already been on Tinder, she's seen a lot of people, like she's met a lot of guys. And when she saw Simon, you know, I think just like any other human being, she was kind of like excited and taken aback by like his
Okay, but
his
but you
jet
know,
set lifestyle,
yeah.
right?
I mean, but like you don't think she deserves to get called gold digger,
No,
obviously.
absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
yeah. I think we're in agreement on it because like I said, I think had it been like a matter of weeks where he said that or even like a couple of
Yeah,
months, I think yeah, I would have said, okay, you're kind of I mean, a part of it, listen, let's be real. Let's be honest. This is not going to happen to me and it's not going to happen to you, right?
that's not true. You should never say
Really?
that. So if I called you, like if
Mhm.
you and I are friends now, right? Because think
Mm.
about the woman that he'd known, Eileen. He was dating her for 14 months.
Yeah.
So if I was one of your friends and we'd grown close, and Pernilla was the same way. He was
Mhm.
friends with her. It wasn't a love
Yeah.
interest. And he said, I'm in trouble. You're not going to give me money to save me? You probably would.
I would give you money because I've known you for years. I wouldn't give you money if I met you like
No,
even
but what
like
I'm
two
saying
years
is,
ago.
but what I'm saying is like, even if you'd met me 2 years ago and I'm somebody who, because I don't put a stamp on how much you care for somebody. It's not just time isn't the only factor. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of other things that play into that. Right. So I
Mm-hmm.
really think that it
Yeah, but
depends
he wasn't
on.
asking. Sorry, Hanan, I don't mean to interrupt, but like he's not asking for $1,000 or $2,000. He's asking like these girls are like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Remember, he had already set a precedence of who he is and the type of money that he spends. So it would make sense for him to ask for these amounts of
Mm-hmm.
money.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
what
I
I'm
mean, I
saying?
understand that. Listen, I'm not blaming them. I understand. I'm just saying, and I think it's easy for people to judge when you're sitting at home watching a documentary and
Exactly.
you think you're
Exactly.
smarter than everybody. Oh, this will never happen to me.
No,
But
I don't think there's any such thing. Like I think, and I literally what I said is, all the victims have the same thing in common. They were all good people, and they weren't stupid
mhm,
or gold diggers. They were people who cared about someone that they loved, and
yeah.
that's why they did what they did. And I also think because they cared for him so much, and the hurt was so deep, this is why they decided to go super public with
Hmm.
this, so that
Hmm.
nobody else would fall into the same trap.
Yeah, and
You
I
know?
think I think like part of it also like the fact that he took his time. And one of them, I think she was just friends with him. She didn't even have like
Pernilla, yeah, the
yeah,
woman the woman that he had met on Tinder, and it wasn't a love
yeah,
interest. They were just friends. And she
yeah.
even said herself, like, when he met them, when she when he came to meet them in Mykonos in Greece, he paid the tab for everything. He was staying
Mm-hmm.
at like a lavish hotel. I mean, so then when he
Yeah.
calls her later and says like, "Hey, I'm in a bind," she's gonna be like, "Oh well, Simon's like one of the most generous people I've
Yeah,
ever."
and like she basically saw that lifestyle that he had, and she's like, you know what, he's good for it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna have any issues with him.
exactly,
But I think
exactly.
the other thing is like some of these women, they lack experience. Like some of them are just very trusting. And I don't think they should be
I don't
faulted
think
for that.
so. I don't think
Really?
it's. I don't think it's that they're trusting. No, I don't think so at all. Because like
So you think it was really love from them? Like, because a lot of people question that. A lot of people question that.
I
They're like,
do.
they're just in it for the money. Like
No,
they saw this billionaire guy, and they're like, you know what? This is my
That's not true.
chance.
That is not true. When you have a woman who, so here's, you have somebody like, let's talk about every single one separately. The
Hmm.
first one that they presented, Cecilia, who is the Norwegian woman, right?
Yeah.
Cecilia was, like I said, your quintessential woman, like looking for love. And
Hmm.
she looks very young too. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, she was very
I
young.
don't
She
think it's
was
about
very young.
inexperience. I think it's like she met somebody and she literally, gave her heart to somebody. Like you're gonna fault somebody for being caring? No. Pernilla was not. I literally in my notes I said Pernilla is not starry eyed like Cecilia was. Pernilla,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could tell
that's
she's
true.
smart,
Mm.
and nothing worked out with them romantically. But Simon became a good friend for her, and
Hmm.
because he became such a good friend for her, she was like, "Oh, there's no way that he would, a good friend doesn't do that to you." You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
And
The
also,
last
let's not.
woman,
Yeah.
Eileen, the one
Hmm.
he dated for 14 months, you cannot say she didn't have a clue in her mind.
2 points I want to mention, and I think a lot of people just forget about the fact
Yeah.
that he planted all these stories on Google. Like you searched him up. The first thing you do when you meet someone is you Google them, right?
Well,
And
he didn't plant the stories. Let's get it
mhm.
straight. He made a
Well, the
really good
website,
story.
yeah.
He
Like
made a really good story.
yeah, he came up, but he also did plant some stuff on the internet. Like the whole website with him and his dad, and the pictures, the Photoshop
So he
pictures that he
photoshopped those
had.
pictures. Those were for
Yeah,
Instagram. Those were not like, so he
yeah,
didn't plant anything. When he was talking about, he would always say, "Oh, my father, my father." He never planted anything. It's like whoever
yeah.
this person, this Lev Leviev person who is this
No,
diamond
but there was a
billionaire.
website. There was a website that he was using
No, no,
about
that's the
diamond.
actual website for the guy that he was pretending for the
Yeah,
for.
but what about the emails he was using? Even though that's probably not the email addresses they use, but like
He,
he went out of
yeah,
his way to create this thing online where
yep.
if you searched him up, you would say, okay, yeah, this guy is his son.
I mean,
Okay,
when they went to find his mom, and then she was like, "He's not a Yahoot anymore. He
yeah,
is a
she was
Leviev
so
now."
nasty too. Okay, don't even like she was such a. I mean, her attitude, whatever. But the other
I mean,
part that I,
think about it. She should have been nasty. She has two random journalists showing up at her door asking her about this person, and she's like, "You probably." I mean, her son is a con man. I probably would have had the same
yeah.
bad attitude. Think about
Yeah,
it.
but my point is the other thing I wanted to mention is the fact that he had people around him, like the bodyguard who was playing along with this scheme. I'm sure that like I don't know, like no one has been able to figure out if he knew or if he, of course he was in on it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And then his kid's mom, like we didn't really know
Yeah,
what
that
was that
was.
about. Like when you see the kid's mom with him, I mean, that's another layer of stuff you gotta
No, no, no,
be
no.
like.
The weird thing is that she went to trial against him
Yeah, and
in
then she
Finland
came
or
back,
something,
and yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or like in
because she
another
wanted the
country.
lifestyle, and he was telling her, "Hey, hang out with me," and it gives him more credibility with these women, and he's got like this entire team
It's
of
like a perfect
people.
Ponzi scheme.
It is
He
a
just
Ponzi
takes
scheme.
somebody
That's like,
else's money to
yeah.
fund something else, and then takes that person's money and funds something else, and so on and so on and so
Hmm.
on.
So basically, to wrap the first part of this up, you don't think it's their fault. You don't
No.
think they were in it for the money,
Mm-mm.
and you think
Mm-mm.
people shouldn't be victim blaming,
Yeah.
obviously, and I agree
No,
with that.
they're victims. It's like people who you never think that you're gonna. Everybody thinks, "Oh, I'm so smart. That would never happen to me. That would never happen to
Yeah.
me." I think that's a
It's
bunch of crap.
yeah, it's easier to say that when you're sitting on your couch
Yeah.
watching this. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, I agree with you. But the other thing, the other aspect of it now is now he's using this to try to get into Hollywood. And I don't know how real, because, nothing he says you can really trust, but he's claiming he has a Hollywood agent. And I'm just like,
No, I don't
who's gonna,
know.
and then he's on Cameo.
I
He's
know.
on Cameo doing
But
Cameo.
then
Like, who's gonna hire this
But
guy?
then, I mean, you would be people are weird. You'd be surprised. I'm sure somebody out there thinks that he's like, that he is getting the short end of the stick or something because he's a
But
dude.
yeah,
And
there's some guys online, like on YouTube and on podcasts, who are basically, loving this guy and saying, he only did what all these women usually do to men. Do you
yeah,
think that's a fair statement?
No. No.
Yeah.
It's not like and here's the thing, right? Like I want to know what women out there, like I'm sure there's women who've done similar things like this, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly certain there's women who've done stuff like this. I don't think they were promising any of these men a marriage and a baby and a future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one thing in my opinion when you have a sugar daddy and the person knows that this is the extent
Mm-hmm.
of that relationship, but no, this man was promising these women love and a home and a family. That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing. And then with the woman that he was friends with, he was just friends with her. Like they just had fun and that was it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just don't think it's the same. I don't
It's
think,
not the same, right?
and it's like you're talking about like tens of millions of dollars and you're talking about somebody there's no reason to like draw similarity between a con man, right? And a woman who accepts how do I need to say this without sounding like totally
Mm.
without sounding
Totally
like
what?
just like without sounding like a hypocrite. Like that's the main thing. It's one thing
I mean, listen, yeah.
the guy was a
Go ahead.
thief. End of story.
He
Let's
wasn't
not
just a
compare.
thief.
He
He
was a
was a
thief.
manipulative
Lying,
psychopath.
yeah, psycho. No, but
He,
at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. He stole money.
mm-hmm.
He manipulated these women and stole their money. And it was like when I was watching the interview, yes, like when I was watching the movie last night,
Yeah.
and the interview with Cecile where she was crying and said, I was gonna drive my car into the trailer. Like
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
you
Haunting.
psychologically damaged this woman.
Yeah, but you
That
know what? She was still because the I think the reporter or the producer
she's
asked
still
her,
paying
"Are
off her
these?"
debts.
No, but she still believes someone. I think I saw an interview for her on like
She still believes
she
in
still believes
love.
in love
There's
and
nothing wrong
finding
with
the right
that.
person, and
Yeah,
that's great. I mean, God bless her.
me too. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
thank God that she's still like this because honestly, I like felt so sad for her. I really did.
yeah,
I was like,
Christina.
this is horrible
I
that
know it was
she
sad.
yeah, and honestly, the fact that she's checked herself into like a psychiatric ward and but I was
Yeah.
so happy that she like turned that around and she's like, I'm going to find a if you hear all these bleeps in the back by the way, it's because my number one fan is like working across the table from me.
Is it
So,
Mahmoud?
yeah, so my number
Say
one
hi,
fan.
Mahmoud.
Yeah. He's waving hello. But
Oh,
yeah, he just yeah, he was hoping to make a cameo, but I
okay,
said,
we can do that.
I'm kidding.
So
I'm
the
kidding.
last thing I wanted to talk about, the fact that this guy has been able to get away with this. Like,
I
how is
know.
this okay? Like, how is this okay? Like, he did all this crap in Europe, and there's really no consequences.
And that's the weird thing. No, no, no. Here's my like really yesterday I paused we
Mm-hmm.
paused the movie and I was telling Mahmoud this yesterday and Mahmoud's like, "No, this is not about like the Palestinian Israeli situation. Like this is just about a man who's a con man." I was like, "What?" I just
Yeah,
I have question. One
exactly.
question. So he was able to make a fake passport and leave the country. But like if a Palestinian person farts, they can trace it back 6 generations.
Absolutely.
So that's
Yeah,
whatever. Put that on the
that's
side.
that's
It just
crazy. Yeah.
it
No,
blew my
you're right.
mind.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But, and then he gets back
And like I
to
said, this is not about being this is literally just like a simple question that I had. Like it's not about being an activist or talking I'm
well,
not talking about politics.
no, we're not talking about
I'm
politics,
talking
but
about a country that has
it's
such
because he's their
tight
citizen.
security.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, he got I think 5 months for something
Well,
he
Mahmoud
did.
was telling me like he's not their problem. Like they have bigger fish to fry. Like this is not what they're
Not
focused
just
on at
that, but
all.
he listen. He did this. I think he did something in Tel Aviv or whatever. And then I think when he
He
went
changed
back,
his
he got
name.
5 months, I believe.
Did you not see the police officer saying that he changed his name? Like
Yeah,
he changed his name from like Yahut or Yehuda to Leviev, and then he had another name that he went by. And the only reason that he got arrested, I think in Greece was when Eileen, the woman he'd been dating for
the
like 14
passport was
months,
fake. Yeah, that's I think it was
told
because
them
of
the
the
name
fake passport.
Told them the name David Sharon, and they were like,
Hmm.
"Oh yeah, David Sharon."
Yeah,
And
but they just deported him. There are no charges against him. I mean, it's just insane.
the
And
problem is
he's living his life. He's living his life.
you can't trace any of this stuff back to him. That's the problem because
Hmm.
he used one woman's money to buy another woman a lavish lifestyle, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So, yeah, I can see why nothing, like none of the charges stuck. But I was just, like I said, for me, I looking at like the women and like at what they experienced, one of the things that I wrote down here that like really like that worked for every single one of them is like whether it was a love interest or like a regular friend, it's that he made them all feel super comfortable.
The
Like,
final thoughts?
I honestly think that it is like I applaud Netflix for turning this into a documentary. I think it was really good and I think it's really important not just to show that like well first of all, it shows one really important thing.
Mm.
Online dating is really hard. Like
You
so
know what I was thinking? Speaking of that, I'm like, thank God I'm married. I don't have to deal with this crap. Right?
no, and it's not but it's
No,
not
I'm
so
not trying to
much.
hate. Look, I know like you're worried now. You're like, oh my God, you're hating on all those single people looking for.
No, I'm
No,
not. I'm
I'm
not.
just saying,
That's
I
not what
don't.
I'm worried about. I'm just
Oh,
saying I'm not hating on them at all. No, I am. I am so like I guess befuddled by how awful. Like I'm confused by how awful this process is. Like to weed through people and then finally when you think you met somebody, they turn out to be like an
trash.
international con man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
not
trash.
just trash is an understatement. This person
Yeah.
is this person's like a it's a psycho. He's a psychopath.
Sorry, so I cut you off kind of. So just tell me final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I thought it was really well done. And I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was very, like, first of all, I thought it was shot really well. I love the fact that they got the real women, the personal interviews. I love that the
Yeah.
women shared, like, a lot of how this made them feel. Not, and I love also the fact that they shed a light on how much negativity this was met with, the original article that VG released, because it shows you that if it was a at the end of the day, women can't
Mm-hmm.
just be victims. Like it's like almost impossible. No, first we have to say it was your fault. You're stupid. You're a gold digger. It can't just
Yeah,
be that like
unfortunately.
yeah. So that's one thing that like I'd actually like it shed a lot of light on that no matter what happens, we can't just believe a woman when she said like someone hurt me. No, we have to
Mm-hmm.
go and investigate and do all of this. And even when they release a freaking movie about this and an article and like it's just it's kind of disappointing like the guy like he never even got charged for like any
Yeah.
like for defrauding any of those three women that we
Yeah,
saw.
he got away with it, and he's laughing and taking pictures, and he's on Instagram again and living the life, and he has a
Victim
girlfriend
shaming,
and all that
it
stuff.
just shows you that like
Yeah,
victim shaming is real. Like it's still a real
absolutely.
thing. And it's like even when even it's like I mean we're in 2022 now, right? Like literally
Mm-hmm.
it is we are supposed to be like an advanced society like across the world. I'm not just talking about America or
Mm-hmm.
anywhere else, but at the end of the day this shows you one thing: we are never inclined to believe a woman when she says like someone hurt me. Like you have to go and do this investigative reporting and the
Yeah.
police didn't even pay attention to it until the investigative reporters got involved, and then they're like, oh yeah, okay, great, sure.
And then after all of this, you get ridicule.
I know, I know,
That's like the worst part,
I
you know?
know. No,
But
it's
anyway,
crazy.
this was a good
I
conversation. I'm
agree.
glad you finally watched it. So next week we'll have another episode for you guys. Just try to comment, leave us comments, ask us questions. Um, check out our Instagram,
Yeah, please check out our
TikTok.
Instagram because Lena
Huh?
does a lot of work. I said, please check out our Instagram because Lena does a lot of work.
I do a lot of work. Yes, I absolutely do. Like I
I
texted
know.
Hanan at 2 a.m. in the morning yesterday. Um,
She's
because I'm
like,
just like that.
she is like our producer. She's our story research person. She is our features producer.
Hanan just shows up, guys. That's it.
That's it.
And I had to send her, listen, I had to send her a link. I'm like, you just click on the link, Hanan, and it will get you click on it, you get in, you don't have to do anything. You
I
just
know.
attach your mic to the computer, Hanan.
I did though. It was really easy. Like her directions were like flawless. So it makes my
Yes.
life a lot easier. Honestly, like I actually enjoy this process too because like I said, this really what we had said on like the first episode of the show is like I'm really going to do my best to try and dedicate time to
Absolutely.
this.
Yes.
And so we're helping each other keep that promise. So like
Yes.
we both
Yeah.
enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun and it gets us to like, honestly, this is the perfect example. We decided let's watch Tinder Swindler together. And it's
Mm-hmm.
something that instead of us being in the same room, this is a great way for us to do it. I would have
Mm-hmm.
just wasted like 3 hours on my
Yeah,
phone
because
like scrolling through
I
TikTok.
Yeah, I told you like we have to be consistent, and so we can't like skip a week. So this was an alternative, and I think it worked out well, hopefully. But I think it's gonna be weird, like because sometimes I look at the camera, and sometimes I'm looking at you. It's so weird. Like we
And
have to get
honestly,
used to
it's the
that.
same. I'm the same way. Like sometimes I'm looking at you because you're on
But you're
screen, and
using
that
your laptop
I am.
camera. I'm not. Like I have the, and I think I should have brought it. Like I just didn't want to waste time, but whatever.
Yeah.
We made it work. I
I
think our
honestly think it's super cute, and I loved like I keep looking at Lena on the screen because like I would normally be talking to her like IRL,
yeah, that's the
but
thing. Like I want to talk to you, so I'm looking at the screen instead of the camera. But it's okay. It's fine. I think the most important thing for me was getting our audio fixed
I
because the
know
last two episodes, I apologize, guys. I know the audio wasn't great, and trust me, it killed me. It killed me on the inside because like I'm this
it
like
did. I got 40,000 messages about how bad the audio was.
yeah, like from me. Those
Yeah,
40,000 messages are from me, not from
like
anybody
oh my
else.
god, what are we gonna do? I'm like, we're not gonna do anything. We're
Yeah,
good.
so we guys,
We're
we
fine.
invested. I mean, we already had invested in the audio, but listen, it's going to be amazing going forward. Stick with us. Like I said, comment. Even if you want to hate, I think we got some hate comments on
We really did.
on
Yeah, somebody was
YouTube
like,
from
I
the
know.
last, which was awesome. I'm like, yay, we have
Yeah,
comments.
exactly. I was like, man, the internet's an interesting. The fact that somebody on the last video said that I was getting paid to plug and just like that, I'm like, I wish.
Right?
I wish.
Right? No, and then someone was like, the girl in the colorful
But he made
sweatshirt,
some good
she's
points.
right. She made some good points. But I'm like, yeah, this is good. We need more of this, guys. So
We
please stick
do.
with us. We're going to be there. We're going to be consistent every Tuesday at 2 p.m. We have it on YouTube. It gets released on YouTube and all the podcast platforms like
Yep.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Thanks to our production team, Lena.
Yes, Lena. Anyway, so this was great.
This
See you
was.
guys next week.